Okay, good. So I'm going to share the Demmer Library screen. Once you are on the Demmer Library screen, you see where there's the online catalog. You will need to click on that. And you come to the catalog, online catalog screen. And over on the right-hand side, there's the login icon or link. So if you click on that, and now, oh, my information is already in, but put in your library barcode number and your PIN number, which will be the last 4 digits of your telephone number. And you submit that. This will be your library page. And up on the top, on the left-hand side, there's Ancestry Library. And you click on that, and you are in Ancestry Library from home. And you're on the home screen. Yes.
Nancy, this is Beth. I missed a direction. I've gotten logged in to the online catalog, and I didn't hear at the same time where the Ancestry Library part was.
Okay, if you go on your login page.
Oh, there.
Yes, on the top. There's Ancestry Library, and you click on that. Okay.
Got it.
Any other questions?
Are we supposed to be opening up our own or just following along on the screen?
You can do whatever you want. If you just want to follow along, that's fine. But if you want to try opening your own, you can do that too. If I'm going too fast or if you have questions, just stop and ask.
I think at this point, I'm comfortable just watching what you're doing.
Right. And, you know, if at any time, at any time you want more instructions, we can work out sharing email or whatever and be able to share that with you.
All right, thanks.
On the home screen, there's a number of things that you can do to get started. One thing is to just start searching. If you click on the begin searching, there is a search screen where you can put in the name, the place, and birth year if you know that of your person. On the right-hand side of the page, there's a listing of what's in the card catalog, the Ancestry card catalog, and you can scroll down there and you can click on any of those to do a search in just those items. Down here you can click on this and you will be able to view all the card catalog listing. You can click on the map and just click search a particular area or click on the list. You can click on Europe and get a Europe map and search in those areas. We're going to stay right with, yes.
Would you just switch, click on one and show us what comes up?
Sure. Do you want the map or the list? Anyway,
anything.
Okay. Okay, I just did the map.
Got it.
And it gives a list of the records that are available to search for Wisconsin records. There will be 221 collections that will be searchable.
Wow.
And as you can see, that map gets bigger or smaller. Okay, so we can click out of that.
What are the little blue circles? Yeah. What are they marking?
Right. They are marking, well, they're marking the states, and then they're marking the, when you run your cursor over them, they'll tell you how many collections are in there for each state.
Okay,
or
so they're just
available.
okay.
Yeah, they're just markings. Now, some states have more collections available than others. Over in the east, there will be quite a few. But, you know, when you get over to the west, well, that's newer, so, and more sparsely populated. So what I thought I would do is, I'm going to put in a name just to give you a demonstration of what this can do. And I'm going to use a guy by the name of Millard Brewster. And seeing as we're doing 3 Lakes today, I'm going to, and knowing that he lived in 3 Lakes, whoops, I'm not using my computer, so. And I know that he was born in 1848.
I don't know.
That was a very good year. Wisconsin became a state.
That's right. He was born in New York, though.
That doesn't matter. I can hear them.
Foretelling where he would spend part of his life. So the first thing that comes up is right on the nose here with Millard and Emma being in 3 Lakes in 1910 and being born about 1848 in New York. If you run your cursor over to this link, it'll give you the information about Millard. And he's 62 years old. He lives with his wife, Emma, and his children, Adelbert, Harry, Leroy, and Margaretta. So he's also in 1860 in Bloomfield. I want to show you something that's really interesting, and that makes you have to take everything with a grain of salt and also work outside the box. I know that they came, the Brewsters came to Wisconsin about 1848. Actually, probably later than that. But in the 1850 census, he is listed as Millard Fayette. The family itself is listed as Brewerton, not Brewster, Brewerton. And this is what I'm talking, for those of you who are just getting into this, this is where you have to kind of keep your mind open and realize that I made a mess of my screen. Okay, there I go. Yeah. And realize that the census records aren't always the greatest looking. They're hard to read, and the transcriber had a hard time with this one. So that's where Brewerton came from. But also down here, the transcriber took Lafayette and made it into Fayette as a surname and La as the first name. So therefore, Millard is Millard Fayette rather than the whole name should have been Brewster or Brewerton, and Mary was also Fayette. So when you're doing searching, make sure that you think a little bit out of the box and accept some of these anomalies that can occur. Census records are always a good way to start your research. So that's just a little bit about census records. Something else that you can do from this search screen, if you just want to find records for a particular location. So I'm doing 3 Lakes again, Oneida County, Wisconsin. And click on that. This should bring up a listing of the different people who were in 3 Lakes at any given time with records associated with them. We have Clarence John Javankuski, his World War II draft card. And if we click on that, you can see the card that he filled out in his own writing with his own signature. And we
When
can,
you're doing the searches, do you have capability of saving, copying
Yeah.
the report?
yes, there is, whoops, on that home page over here, it says receive records at home. When you're doing the search and you find some things that you want to keep, there is a video that shows you how to save those records. So, I believe there is volume for this, but anyway, it goes through the steps that you need to take and the ways you can serve it or save it. So if you're at the library or if you're working with this and you do have another program that you want to bring this information into, there's a couple of ways you can do it. You can put it on your flash drive. You can email it to yourself, print it out, and take that information and put it into your own program.
If we're working from home, going through this process, you say download to the flash drive. Can we just save it to our hard drive on our computer? I lost you. I lost audio. Still not hearing.
Yes, Bev, I'm only hearing you as well. This is Jan.
Oh, okay, Jan, thanks.
So I don't hear anything from Nancy.
Okay, now
There we go.
I just had, my microphone had a red line through it even though I didn't press anything.
Mine did too. Can you hear me now?
I
Yes.
can hear you now.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, good. Yeah, of course, I wasn't even on that screen and I did not turn it off. Okay, so
Okay.
anyway, yes, any question?
The question, yes, I had was, if we're working on this program from home on our computer, can we just save it? You said save it to the flash drive. Can we just save it to our hard drive?
I would think you should be able to do that. If you can save it to a flash drive, you can certainly save it to your hard drive. You can also email it to yourself.
You can also
Don't
print it.
documents take up a lot of memory though?
I want to be able to see the source that I'm documenting.
Right. I think, I didn't really try this myself, so I think what you'll have to do is try it.
Okay.
And
And
if you want to see the page that you're looking at, just right click on your mouse, say print, and when it comes up, print it as a PDF, and it'll save it on your computer that way.
Oh, great.
yes. And like I say, it's another way you can do this is even from home, you can just email it to yourself. And once
Yeah.
it's in email, you can print it out.
That just seemed like an extra step.
Okay.
But I'll try the print and going to PDF and saving it. Thank you.
Okay. So yes, you can save for later use. Down here we have quick links, and there are, if you just want to search any of these specific subject or topics or areas, this is where you can go for that. Now, I was looking at newspaper obituaries when I started working on this, and I was, I'm used to Ancestry, so I was able to get I've been able to get newspaper obituaries, but I have to admit that on the library edition, that is not very useful. But maybe for you it will be. But you can give it a try. A little bit about census. The question? The earliest census we've got is the 1790. That's the first census that was done by the United States, and then by law, they decreed that every year, every 10 years, there would be another census. So from 1790, they have a census for just the heads of the households. And then they will just enumerate or count the people that are in that household. So free white persons, males, 16 and over. Free white persons, males, 16 and under. Free white persons, female, and so on down the list. They did this asking up till 1840. Well, in 1840, they asked a bit more. Okay, so I'm going to put in my guy again. And just see if I can show you how that looked. So here's the list of names over here. And then they asked for any males under 5, from 5 to under 10, 10 to under 15. So they were getting a little bit more specific. And they did the same for the females. And then they had total number of males and total number of females. By 1850, they finally got around to asking for everybody in the family. And each census asked for either a little bit more information or asked for a little bit different information. Let's take a look at the 1900 census. Oops. Can't type. No. And you can be as specific as you want with this or as general. And here's our guy. And now they're asking name of everybody in the household, relation to the head of the household. Here they wanted more personal information. Male, female, white, or black, or month of birth, year of birth, age, and whether single or married, and then birthplace of father, birthplace of mother, birthplace of self, occupation, whether can read or write, and speak English. So each census was asking for slightly different things. As many, and for the new people here, 1890 census was destroyed in a fire, and that census is only available in certain areas, very limited. Certainly not Wisconsin. But there is a veteran schedule so that if anybody was in the Civil War, that information will have survived.
Well, Wisconsin had its own 1885 and 1895 census. It only had a household, but at least it had something.
Right. Yes. Many states did have their own census, and they usually did that in the off years. So 1875, 1885, 1895, or 1905. I think those are the Wisconsin state censuses, but other states might have done the same thing. Okay, just doing a little bit more tour of this of the Ancestry site. There's a search. There is a search. Okay. You can just do searches in all categories, and then these options as well. And this is what that screen looks like. Message boards. Back in the 1990s, when a lot of family history research was starting, one of the sites that was very helpful to researchers was RootsWeb. Ancestry has bought RootsWeb, and some things are working on it and some things are not. But the message boards from back then are still here. And what you could do is you could go out to these message boards and put out a question about, I'm researching this family. Is there anybody out there who has information about this family? And you could carry on a discussion or get information that way from people. Now here's just a sample of one of the entries, one of the questions. I think I'm going to go back here. Some of them had quite a thread going, quite a discussion going about the families, like this one here. So this is a shot in the dark, my grandmother, Adelia Chapman. And then they carried on the exchange of information through this message board. It can be worthwhile to go back and look through these and see if anybody else out there was researching your family and checking for that information. Learning Center, there are research aids out here that are really, really interesting. There's research aid on the census. And if you, well, come on, click on that. Oh, I see, it's down here. There will be a 5-page research guide on the 10 census questions that lead to more answers. And this is a a PDF document, which you can print out and save to read later and use as save for a reference guide. And there's a lot of them, and they're good. Maps. Click on Wisconsin, and they have a number of research guides available for Wisconsin probate records. And it tells you that you're going to be leaving the Ancestry site and going to a wiki. And let me see here. It gives you some information about the probate records in Wisconsin and what they include. And then the files. And more information. Browse through 1,399,000. Yes.
Would you please repeat where you, what link you used to get to these files?
Yes. Up here, there's a learning center.
Okay.
Okay. First part of it is the research needs.
All right.
And the second part is the map.
Thank you.
Well, you're welcome. So that's for, any of these states. If you're looking at, let's say, New York records and research, there's a number of research guides for New York. Okay, next. Charts and forms. Do we have new people here who are just starting out?
Yes.
One of the things, okay. One of the things to do is to start with gathering the information about your family. And this chart, oh gosh, okay, can be a good way to get you started. You always start with yourself. So you go around the house and talk to people and talk to your people, and you find out the information about yourself. So you fill in about where you were born, the date you were born, everything you can about you as a person. The next thing you do is go to your parents, and you gather all the information that you know about your father and about your mother. As far as your mother or any female members of your family, use birth names or maiden names and search with that. And then you go to your grandparents and find all the information you can about them. And just keep on going as far as you can go until you run out of the information. Once you take a good look at this, after you've gotten everything gathered and filled out, you know where the gaps are and where you need to do your research. So make as many forms of this or copies of this as you need, and just keep on going and filling them out. Another form that's really useful is a family group sheet. And this takes each family and gathers it all together. So the husband of the family, the wife of the family, fill in all the information that you can, and then the children in the family, and so on, and keep going with that. And then there are other forms here that can help you keep your research organized. a calendar, a research calendar, a correspondence record, who you've been talking to, source summary, what sources you have used, and a research extract. So I don't know what that is. But this is to keep your research materials and information in order. Also, they have what's on each census. So here's the 1840 census, and you can use this form to record the people that you found in the 1840 census and the information that was attached to that head of household. How many individuals were in that family. But for each of the census, they have a form that you can use to keep track of the information that you found in those censuses. So I think that pretty much is an overview of Ancestry Library. You cannot start a tree on Ancestry Library. This is a research tool only. If there is a place over here that if you know there are public trees out there, or if you even have a public tree and you want to refer to it while you're using Ancestry Library, you can go in here and you can search for public trees. So for instance, put in the surname Brandt, and these are the ancestry trees. Well, this isn't even, yes, this is information on that surname. And then there's a Brandt family tree out here. So if those trees are public, you would be able to go in and look for your ancestors in those trees. Are there any questions?
Nancy, how long is this going to be available? Do you have any idea?
Yes.
End of April, and they were.
Okay, and it will be available through the end of April, at which time they will review to see if they will keep it available longer. And that'll be based on what is happening with our distancing and the closures.
Thanks.
Okay. Are there any other questions or things that you would like to see or demonstrated? Okay. Let's see. I think it's I've really never looked at I've really never looked at Ancestry Library before, like I have lately. So I've been having some fun playing around with it, actually, even though I do have Ancestry at home.
Bring their own laptop to the library.
Okay, and Erica just reminded me that once we do reopen, Ancestry Library is available here on the library computers, and you can bring your own computer into the library and you can access the library Ancestry Edition here through your own computer, through your own laptop. Which brings up the question. if you're sitting outside right now, and because the Wi-Fi is on by the library, if you want to come and sit in your car with your laptop, you will be able to access it too. But as long as you can do it from home, got it good.
Nancy, is this also available at the Olson Library as one of their services in Eagle River?
I believe it is.
Okay,
They're a different system than we are,
all right.
but it's worth a try.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. So, I guess
One
I
other
can,
question.
yes.
Nancy, one other question.
Mhm.
So what we're seeing here, how does that differ from what's normally available at the library?
This is the same thing that's available through the library.
Okay, thanks for clarifying that.
Yeah.
Different than that.
Yeah, this is different though than an Ancestry subscription. An Ancestry subscription will get you much more, but this
Okay.
gets you all the research records and all the research information.
Oh, there's a question related to that is I have an Ancestry subscription, but I have kind of a basic level.
Mm-hmm.
So, there's of course increased cost to upgrade. So what we can get through Ancestry Library, if we're on a basic level Ancestry subscription, would that be more access through the library edition?
Hmm.
Because it would give you your full. I think
Marie frozen time.
yeah, I think the basic subscription is basically a US subscription. And so
Okay.
you get a lot more of the foreign records
Okay.
with a library one.
Right.
Yes,
Yeah. Because
I just
yeah.
looking at the website here, I think there's more options to search more files or collections or whatever through this edition. So this is wonderful.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah, I was feeling that way too. I was I've as far as what is available through this, I felt that there was quite a bit available, and I think you could do a real good start at gathering information.
Sounds like Erica.
Pardon me? Okay.
Who was asking what?
I don't know.
Are we going to have
Say that again?
Are we going to have another one of these?
Yeah, we can do that. Do you have a suggestion as to what?
Well, that was going to be my next question. Does anybody have something they'd like to see? Perhaps a set of records, information about a certain website, any of that kind of stuff. But he knows nothing.
Think about that. I'm going to give you my, well, if you think of anything, email the Demmer Library at demmerlibrary.com.
No, I think she's
She's battery?
No, she's in Arizona.
Yeah, that's what I said.
She's on the program.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So
at
I
this
have to
point,
say
I
you're
think
all.
we don't know what we don't know.
Yeah, that's the thing. But,
What about Heritage?
Heritage Quest. Erica just suggested Heritage Quest, but Heritage Quest is a subscription, and we don't have I have a subscription to it right now, but
It might also have some things. like-
Heritage Quest is the library one. You're not my Heritage Quest is the library one. That's where you get your personal.
Okay, well, I have to look into that and see if that would be a possibility.
Yeah.
There's family search as well. I'm not as good at that. Well, I have Ancestry, so I'm a little bit better at that. But family search is a little.
Well,
bit
I can do family search. I was going to say, I sent
Right,
you that
you
link
can.
about the British National Archives. Would you like
Yeah.
like a tour of British National Archives?
Oh,
What you can get there.
we could work on that. If
The access is free right now, so we have a lot of records. I think most members have at least one line that goes back to Britain. They may be mainly German and Polish, but most people have at least one where they overlap with Britain somewhere. So if people would be interested, I could do something that would be like a tour of the site. And
Okay,
what you can
well,
find.
yeah, we'll have to keep that in mind and maybe do something with that.
What's really fun is when you get into the
You sent me that link. I could probably send that out to everybody for them to look at.
I thought you did.
I don't think I did yet. I will check and make sure I do.
Yeah.
Did anybody get a link from the British Archives from me? Okay, I will do that. I'll go home and do that.
Okay. And because what's really good on those is you can get the court records, like the trials at the Old Bailey and things like that, which are really fun.
Okay. So then anyway, some of the other things that we could do would be we could take a little look at family search at Heritage Quest. Or we could just do some more specific things like really getting into maybe a certain type of record. I don't know whether it's probate records or land records or whatever. And if there's somebody who's really good at those things, who can help present that. Yeah, just let the Demmer Library know. And we can also do, when we do our meeting on the 27th of April. I think most of you are members, and if not, just join us anyway.
We like people.
Yes. Okay, any other comments? Anything anybody wants to say?
Thank you. This was really got me remotivated.